Hey guys, Katie pointed out to me that I forgot to do my video this week, and I really don't have time to do one tonight or for the rest of the week because October is super busy for me. So instead of doing one of my clippy videos, you're going to get one that doesn't need editing that I can upload before I go to work this morning. So I decided to show you guys the two notebooks that I always bring with me pretty much everywhere, mostly just to work actually, but this one is essentially a bullet journal, and this one is my sketchbook. So I'm going to show you what's going on both of these. I'm going to attempt to skip pages that have personal information on them. We'll see how well that works. Yeah, this is my bullet journal. I got this on Amazon. I really liked it because of the pen loop and because the cover is hard, but the spine is soft leather, so it opens really easy and doesn't crack. But the paper is kind of not good, so I probably won't buy another one. But yeah, I have a yearly calendar. Some important dates that I stopped filling out, and then most of my monthly spreads look like this. I write all the stuff in pencil in case something changes, and then this is what most of my weekly spreads look like. This is, I think I actually started doing this like halfway through this week, so I filled out for future things, but what I do basically is I write events in my week, and then I don't do it in gold anymore, but I write notes as to what is going on with those events, and then I write to-do lists in between, so that helps me balance out what I have going on versus how much I want to get done. Make sure I don't, try to do way more than I actually have time to do. And then this is my savings goal. I want to have, I think it's a little under 10 months worth of emergency savings. And at the moment, my goal is to save $1,000 a month, and then I'll be there by the beginning of next year. And I have 3 months left, so yeah, I'm doing pretty good right now. This is a list of every single cross-stitch project I've made. Or well, most of them. I had to continue this list on a different page further on. But basically it just says what the project is and when I finished it. And if it was a gift, it has a little present next to it. If it was for me, it has a little house next to it. And they're in order of when I did them. Well, except these, I haven't done any of these yet. These are just when I bought them. But as you can see, when I first started out, they were like 90% gifts, and then I was like, hey, I need to do some stuff for myself, and then I haven't done any of the things I was going to do for myself. That's a list of people that might get Christmas awards, but probably won't, because I'm not going to make that many. The weekly spread. This page is all of the books that I owned physical copies of. If it's colored in, I've either read it, or the China Collectors I'm halfway through reading, because it's a really dry art history book that's going to take me forever to read. But yeah, my rule to myself is that I can't own more than 20 books at a time, and I'm trying to get myself down to 10, which I was kind of doing a good job of working on, and then I bought 3 more books, so that didn't really work. The random journaling page, cross-stitch projects that I want to buy, quotes that I wanted to draw, which, because I'm doing Inktober, I've done most of them. This is a list of everything I need to do for the Mid-America Freedom Band for this season. This concert is actually this weekend, so that stuff's all done and printed and good to go. And then this is our next concert, which is in December. It's a Christmas concert, which the design is done for. I'm just waiting for feedback, which I probably won't get till closer to the concert because they're going to want to add things that are actually relevant to the concert, and they usually don't know those till closer to printing. I need to actually work on the one after that today, which is supposed to be about the suffragette movement, so I have to essentially illustrate a suffragette. Another weekly spread. This is the cross-stitch that I'm currently working on. I made myself a little chart, and I fill in what I've finished. So as you can see, I'm a little over 3/8 of the way through it. I was kind of hoping to finish it this year. I started it in May, but it is gigantic. It's going to be 20 by 25 when I'm done, so that's not going to happen. This is the list of things that I want to buy for myself eventually. As you can see, I bought a few things, like I bought a kitchen table and a new cell phone, which I got the Pixel 2 because it was actually cheaper than the older one when I went to go look at them. And that's supposed to come on the 2nd, so that's exciting. I bought myself a chunky sweater because I really needed a new one. And actually I bought that too. I need to mark that off. And I want a new pair of glasses, so that's the pair of glasses that I like from Warby Parker. This is where I started to list out ideas of things to do videos about, and I think this is actually on there. Yeah, all my notebooks. The weekly spread. September, which of these things are colored in pieces of a color your own calendar, daily calendar that my mom gave me. And I stopped doing that because I got tired of it, and I have also stopped using gold on my pages because I got tired of it. This is a combination habit and mood tracker, which September is the only month I did that for because I got bored halfway through and just kind of like filled out what I could remember. So and really there's things in here that don't need to be tracked, like reading. I clearly did that every single day. That's not something I need to keep track of whether or not I'm doing it. And some of these things are things that I didn't need to do every day, like bleach my teeth. Like clearly I did that like every once in a while. And water my plants. I do not do a good job of watering my plants, and now most of them are dead because it's cold, so it really doesn't matter. And the spots that are filled in black were days that I couldn't do those things. Like on weekends I can't ride or walk to work or pack my lunch, and then this was the week that I was out of town, so I couldn't like do any of these things that I would do if I were at home. Weekly spread. I tried to keep track of what I was selling on Etsy, and then I got tired of writing it down, so now I just use the spreadsheet that I already had. Packing list. This is where I'm keeping track of packages or things that I bought online that I'm waiting for. There's a couple in here that are actually important. Like I bought a design book on Kickstarter, and I don't remember what that one is. Oh, my phone. And then I ordered some stuff off a Chinese website that always takes forever, so I had those on there, but that's checked off. You don't need to see my medical information. Here's all the washi tape that I own. There's another weekly spread where I didn't do a whole lot between them. Page ideas for the bullet journal. This is a list of the top 100 fonts according to Font Shop? Yeah, Font Shop. And I went through and scribbled out ones that I don't like and marked ones that I do like. So next time I need to like find a font that I want to use for a project, I can just look in there. This is the layout of my apartment. I was going to use it to try to figure out, using these sticky notes to try to figure out where I wanted to put furniture. But I never used it for that. I just put them where they are now and then didn't do anything. Here's a list of old drawings I wanted to make fancy. Future goals. Quotes that I was going to make for my dad, but then I found a t-shirt that already had that quote on it online. Movies that I want to watch. I was going through my portfolio website to get it ready for when I'm going to have to start job hunting fairly soon, because my contract ends in April. So basically just removing projects that didn't need to be on there, and then I was going to add some projects, but all of these are things for my current job that I can't put online because we don't have to get those individual companies' permissions, and I'm not going to get that. And then one project that I'm actually going to add. Here's the continuation of the cross-stitch projects I have. Most of these are pretty small projects. They won't take long to do. Another weekly spread where I didn't have much going on, so you can see that my to-do list was much longer, and then my weekend usually doesn't have anything to do on it. This is a wish list for books I want to read. This was my attempt to do another journal page, but I'm probably not going to journal on these ever again. Here's the month of October. As you can see, I had this weekend free, and technically I kind of have this weekend free, but I have something going on Sunday, so not really. The weekend after that, I'll be in Iowa to take family photos. This is my current favorites page. I probably will never do that again either. This is my chart of where I'm keeping track of Inktober, whether or not I've taken and posted the photos. As you can see, I've taken those 3 photos, but haven't posted them yet. And I've posted everything through yesterday. And then this page is keeping track of what quote I drew for each day and whether or not I've drawn that quote yet. And if it has a little square around it, then I've planned that quote, but I haven't drawn it. So I'm pretty close to being done. And I did draw everything ahead of time, especially because last weekend I was in South Dakota and I knew I wasn't going to have time to draw anything. Graphic designers you should know. Another weekly spread. Places I can drive, or this is my list for when I can drive on the 12th. The places I'm going to drive through, or to. I decided to start figuring out what I want to do for my next bullet journal, because I want to start one in 2018, so it starts in January. And because I don't really like this paper, it doesn't work well with my fountain pen. It bleeds a lot. It doesn't bleed through, but it like spreads when you draw. Basically, like, yeah, pages that I like and I want to keep using, pages I want to get rid of. And then I'm going to use a different color of fountain pen ink for every month. And then after this, I decided to put all of my weekly spreads together. So that's this week. You can see my weekend's kind of busy. And then, because this is what I want to do in my next bullet journal. So yeah, there's a weather page that I'm going to try out. I don't know if I'll actually do it or not, but I wanted to keep track of what the weather's like every day and sort of how the weather changes throughout the month. I know there's some people that do that for the entire year, which would probably be more interesting. My monthly spread, that's when I could drive again, hence the little car. And I know I probably have something going on around here. There's a fundraiser on the 17th called Bad Drag, the Second Coming that the band is putting on. It's supposed to be really fun. These little sticky notes are things that I probably want to do this week, but I haven't read them in yet because it depends on what's going on. So yeah, these are November, December, more December. And then this section is me planning what I'm going to do my next bullet journal pages and where I'm going to put stuff. And then planning things out. Like this is a chart that I made based on what I read in 2015, I think. And I want to include this in my new bullet journal just out of interest because I think it's interesting to look like I read a lot this month. Then I read one book in April and like 3 books these months. And then you can tell when I got laid off because suddenly I read 11 and 15 books. But yeah. This was me going through different notebooks that I want to use that have better paper. I really liked this one, but it comes from England and the shipping cost more than the book did. So I'm probably going to get that one. That's a page I never finished. This is me planning out what my sort of pre-planning pages at the very beginning of my bullet journal would look like. Planning out a page that I'm not going to make. And then we flip to the back of the book because that's what I want to do in my next bullet journal. And that's where your like collections pages go. So these are pages I was trying out and don't like. Not going to use. This was my flight schedule for last weekend and like travel schedule and packing list. These are various drawing challenges that happen throughout the year. These are drawings from Inktober that I think I'm going to digitize and sell on my Etsy store. My favorite cross-stitch places. Things I need to do for branding guidelines for the band. And then the place to list what happened in Inktober, whether or not it was really worth doing it. But then the rest of this is blank. So yeah, that's that. And then this is turning out to be a much longer video than I planned. But this is my sketchbook. As you can see, I filled the front cover with stickers. And this is a doodle that I did during a meeting at work that I need to tape in. This sketchbook is, I don't draw in it in order. So there's random drawings in the middle. I saw that someone else doing that online. It's supposed to help you sort of treat your sketchbook a little less preciously so you don't worry so much about how your drawings look. And that way, if you're drawing the same thing over and over again, it doesn't end up stuck that way. So this is the first page I drew in it. I hated this drawing, so I covered it up with stickers and little washi tape things. There's a few pages in here that are in order. This is just some brush lettering practice. These are pre-sketches for Inktober. Do it from a meeting at work. This was me drawing a letter that I really didn't like. Another doodle. This was a drawing that I did for Inktober and then it didn't turn out, so I flipped the page over, drew it on the other half and cut off the excess and then saved it in here. Another doodle. I like to do this when I'm killing time. It's just the same word written over and over again. Big letter. This was when my old fountain pen broke. My new one should be here in a few days, hopefully. Doodles. Testing pens. And then this is a piece of transfer paper that I was drawing on. And then it's not in order anymore. So there's more ink testing on this paper. Pre-drawings for Inktober. More pen testing. A little drawing that I did based on another artist's work from a book that one of my aunts gave me. That's from that same book. Ooh. These two are actually pre-drawings for this, which is an actual Inktober drawing that I did. But because it's on tracing paper, I didn't want to let it float around, so I taped it in here and did that for a couple other things too. Amanda might recognize this one. I redrew one that I made for Lizzie a long time ago. One that I had to ask her whether or not I was the one that drew last time I was at her house. But, you know, I draw a lot of things, okay? There's a little drawing where I tried to redraw that skeleton and it did not work. Another pre-drawing for Inktober. As you can see, I bought a ton of stickers a long time ago when I was actually freelancing, and I had this like fancy journal style agenda that everyone online makes really pretty using stickers, and that's the very last page from Inktober, which is why it's so empty. I'll draw more stuff in there eventually. But I stopped doing it because I got tired of doing it once I was employed. And yeah, never picked it up again, so I decided I might as well use all these stickers somewhere. So that's why they're in here now. This is actually kind of fun to draw. What you do is you divide it in half, and you go from a point to well, I divided a few more pages too, and then you go from a point to somewhere up the other point and keep going around until it completely fills in. More kind of bad pre-drawings for Inktober. Random letter. Stickers that I made a pattern out of. That was why I started to draw that quote that I showed in my bullet journal for my dad, and then never got any further than that. More pre-drawings. Hello over and over again, which I thought this would make a fun like postcard or greeting card. I might make that. Maybe make one that says goodbye too, but that would be a little depressing to get in the mail. More pre-drawings. Most of this aren't like pretty sketches. A lot of it are the pre-drawings because I like to do the nice drawings on nicer paper. This is one that I did for Inktober that's not posted yet. So you'll see that on my Instagram in a few days. Pre-drawings are underneath it. And then this is another one that's got posted yesterday to my Instagram. This one got posted while I was gone. Another random drawing. And then I think there's another gap because I usually just open it to a random page. Oh, yep, that's a pre-drawing for something that I did digitally. And it doesn't end up looking that much like that pre-drawing. More pen testing. Letter E, which I tend to draw a lot because it is my letter. A black letter B that I didn't like, so I taped something else over it. This is a drawing of one of my coworkers' mugs when we were in a meeting. I don't take the sketchbook to meetings anymore. More pre-drawings and a random drawing of a creepy looking eye. More brush testing. A doodle of an American flag. I think that was from like Labor Day time or something. Some lettering, and then I kind of redid the lettering on top of it using tracing paper. And then yeah, we're back to the beginning. So those are my sketchbook and my bullet journal, and I carry them with me to work every day. I'll usually, right now I've been using this disposable fountain pen on my bullet journal, which is because my good fountain pen is broken. But there's a new one coming in the mail soon. This guy, actually right here, he's broken. He leaks ink, and if you shake him right now, if he has ink in it, it'll just like splatter. So it doesn't work very well. And I bought the cheap one, so the nibs aren't replaceable. But now I'm buying the fancy one. I can replace the nib when it breaks. So yeah, I need to finish getting ready to work and download this to my computer so I can upload it. So I'm gonna go now. This ended up being a super long video. I don't blame any of you if you don't watch the whole thing. But I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I won't forget to do my next video and won't have to do this again. So, bye!